I think it was a big game for us coming off our last game of the regular season to kind of reset some things, get back on track a little bit. We knew it was going to be a physical, close game, and I think it was. I think through the second half we started to create a little bit better. We were better on the ball. We kept possession better. I think we got enough chances to score more goals. So that's kind of, I think, for us, the next step is to complete that and develop more on that end. But I think for our back line played very well. I think they did a good job adjusting throughout that game. And then obviously to get a shutout is important at this time of the year. So I mean, you have to win 1-0 games. You have to be able to do those. But I think we had more opportunities that we could have created a little bit more in front of goals. So we'll talk about that a little bit in our practice today.
Absolutely. And then moving on to the RMAC semifinal, you meet up with Regis, who is the number 4 seed. Team you've already met before and had a lot of success with. What can we expect from?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think at this time of year, a lot of teams, everybody who's left is good, and teams are playing right now because they're clicking and they're doing well. So I think Regis is on a bit of a run. They look good. They have a lot of talent. I fully expect a dogfight like we see in most of these conference games. I think we did ourselves some favors, hopefully, by taking care of being at home, and so hopefully we can use that to advantage. And but I think it's going to be a tight one. It's going to be a battle. I think it's not going to come down to talent. I think it's going to come down to mentality. I think that's going to play a big piece in it. So those are things we'll talk about. We had a day off yesterday, so girls are coming back in and got refreshed, and so those are things we'll talk about today as a group.
Questions?
You mentioned the day off yesterday, but what's kind of the mentality coming off a shorter rest period than normal going into the semifinal game?
I personally like it because you don't have to wait as long before you play again. So, I don't know, it just keeps you excited and you don't have to wait as long. So I'm excited. Yeah.
I think that normally our games are a Friday and a Sunday, and we only get one day off, so it's kind of even nice to have two because it's a little bit more rest than we normally do. So we're able to reset our bodies and then have a practice to reset our mentality and what we want to do in the next game. So it's nice to be able to have that reset, but have 2 days to do it instead of just trying to cram it into one.
I think you can tell you're talking to sophomores where they're really excited to play more games. Seniors might have a different seniors want a week rest, but yeah.
Seniors want the men's schedule.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Lila, are you seeing now that playoffs are teams defending you differently, tighter?
Yes,
you're
they
used to things like this.
definitely, yeah. They're marking me more, and I can even hear them on the field talking about me, oh, you need to, well, here she comes, and even I hear coaches telling their players, number 5's on her way over, or she's making this run, or watch her here. So there's definitely more of a focus, but I don't know. It's a little frustrating sometimes, especially, yeah. But what can you do? The rest of the team will take care of it if I'm covered, so.
How do you counter that? Just trying to get the ball to somebody else?
Yeah, I just try to make the ball move faster and get my teammates open more because a lot of times I'm covered by a couple, so at least someone else will be open.
Say you've got some other people who
Yeah.
can score.
Oh,
So
yeah.
It's kind of nice, the men's team was talking about their balance. It's nice not to have the guy.
Yeah.
And you've been the leading scorer, but you have so much help around you.
Yes. It's so nice to have everyone else around me that can also play good and score goals. So it takes the pressure off for sure.
And coming off kind of a physical game on Sunday, how do you guys try to match the intensity that you guys had against Fort Lewis going into Regis, who's a very good team?
Go for it, Carl.
I don't know. So most teams in the RMAC are physical like that, so you kind of just have to expect it with every team you play. But it's just a matter of not changing your game for anybody else, but you keep your mentality the same for everybody you do play, and you're going to be able to keep the resiliency, and it doesn't matter who you play and no matter how good they are, but you're always just going to keep it with the same mentality. I'm going to go and play my best. It doesn't matter what they're going to do because I'm going to do what I do best instead of trying to form to what they're doing, no matter how good they are.
Yeah, I think for us, we embrace physicality. Honestly, I think the more physical the ref will let a game be, I think it plays to our advantage. We talk a lot about. We say that girls have a tumbleweed mentality out here, out in the Western Slope, where like we don't mind being underestimated. We don't mind things being hard. I think we kind of thrive in those settings. I think those are settings that we're comfortable with. So I think we're ready to embrace like whatever challenge is going to come, because I think for us, like, we want to set that tone anyways.
In the past, probably not for sophomores and redshirt freshmen, but the older players, this team's had trouble generating offense, generating shots, and now it's just like a barrage. Has that just kind of been a mindset, and just with the system you brought in, and we are going to be aggressive?
Yeah, I think part of it is we want to ask questions of teams. So we want to take advantage of spaces that they're not in. We want defenders to have to make choices. So if we're sitting in two different spaces, a defender can't be in two spots at once. So, by default, they have to make a choice of where they're going to go. And once they do that, it makes it easier for us. I do think a little bit in the last week or so, I think we've gotten away from the speed and pace that we want to play at. I think our movements have been a little bit slower. I don't think we've asked as many questions and put teams on the back foot as quickly as we can. So, I think that's a focus for us to transition quicker and be able to get in the attack quicker. But really, yeah, our idea is that we spend, I think games are won and lost in the attacking third and the defending third. And so we spend a lot of time in those areas, because I think, that's ultimately, if we're organized and we have good ideas in those spaces, that will be dangerous. And obviously, if you have very dangerous players who, want the ball and can do things under pressure with the ball, that always helps. And then if you have players who, are like committed to stopping the opposing team from getting opportunities and, are physical and, will step to outlets and close space down, then I think like on both sides, it like really plays into it. So, it's definitely something that we consciously look to do, is try to ask a lot of questions.
And as a striker, that's kind of fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I love that. The more opportunities, the more chances you have to score a goal. So, yeah.
Have you noticed, though, that, everybody on this team has gotten more and more aggressive as the season's gone on? Early on, you're, trying to figure out how to do things, and now it's like, we're just going to attack.
Yeah. I feel like after playing with each other for the last couple months, we've known how each other play. We're getting the feel for each other. And I think that helps so much with the attack. And, yeah, we've really just bonded, and we're playing well together.
Well, come postseason time, the level of play jumps exponentially from regular season to postseason. How did that kind of change? What did you guys see on Friday, and what are you kind of expecting to see tomorrow?
I guess we're expecting to see a really physical battle, of course, because it could be everyone's last game, and for a lot of seniors, last game ever. So of course you're going to play your hearts out and give everything you got. So I just feel like everyone's giving it their all, and that makes it that much harder to do anything and play.
I also feel like since we did beat Regis last time, they're going to come in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and they're going to want to come in and knock us off our spot, especially at our home field. And I think that we have to be ready for them to come out swinging from the very first whistle.
I think in particular, like the Regis has typically played in a 3-back, so it's a different system than some teams play. Though there's a good number of teams in our conference who will play a 3-5-2. So we've seen it several times this season, but it is new. It's something new we haven't seen in a few games. Attacking minded. They want to put pressure on us. They want to go forward. I think for us, the biggest thing, like Carli mentioned, that I don't really think it's about talent or it's about what you're playing. I really do think the game is a game of mentality. There's a quote like, "The will must be stronger than the skill," Muhammad Ali. I want to make sure I get that right after Aaron Rodgers quoting last week, but make sure I get the right quote. But But I think for us, it's entirely about us having the confidence to step on the field and set the tone from the very start of the game. And I think that's really important for us to have that belief. So, I think that will be one of the big components for tomorrow.
Question of the week.
Okay.
What is a talent you possess that not many people know about?
You got one, Car?
I'm really trying to think. Let's see. This one's a bit weird, but I can touch my tongue to my nose.
Now you have to show it.
I'm not sure.
Coach, you gotta wear this mask.
That's under my mask. I couldn't see it.
Yeah. I have this weird double jointed thumb going on, so.
Gosh. I really don't know. I can do handstands.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
really
I can
good.
do some good handstands sometimes. Yeah.
That's really